Hey Stampers, Kim from stampingandperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I wanted to share with you a scrapbook page that I made. I could not resist using this You Are My Sunshine. I'm actually using two different stamp sets today, and one of them is called Ray of Sunshine and the other is called Kinda Eclectic. Ray of Sunshine and Kinda Eclectic. I love the sentiments on this, and I love this little sun face here. Then the Kinda Eclectic has become one of my favorite stamp sets, and I'm using these two images today. So basically I have here a 12 by 12 piece of pumpkin pie. Then I have a piece of 10 by 10 and I cut it down to 10 by 10. It started out at 12 by 12. This is a piece of Daffodil Delight from the Brights Designer Series paper stack. This is on the back, this is on the front. I really liked the herringbone design, or this stripe design. Like I have trouble using that a lot, and I'm definitely like the way that it looks on this with the sun. I think that's actually perfect. And then I actually created my page on a piece of Whisper White cut at 8 by 8. Now I'm leaving lots of space along the top because I'm going to make a coordinating page, and I have room for my title, which I believe I'm going to set call Rays of Sunshine when I put a title up there, and I'll have a picture of each one of my children on each one of the pages. So let me show you how I started this page. I'm actually going to make the coordinating page to this. So I'm going to put this aside. Plus, I have a lot of 8 by 8 albums, but one way to take an 8 by 8 page to make it a 12 by 12 is to mount it on to a 12 by 12 sheet with some pattern paper. You can center it, you can put it off center, there's lots of different ways you can do that, but that gives you room for a nice title and some journaling around the edges. So that's one thing that you can do. Alright, so I started out with again, as I said, Whisper White cut at 8 by 8, and I have a Daffodil Delight circle that I cut at, I used my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Then I took some pumpkin pie ink, and I took the face image from the Ray of Sunshine stamp set, inked it with the pumpkin pie, and I stamped it on this Daffodil Delight. I just love this little face image. It's such a happy image. I have a sponge saved just for my pumpkin pie, and I very lightly just sponged around the edges of this. So I have a tendency to take sponging too far, so I really controlled myself here. I just wanted it around the edges, and I just wanted it to pop off my page a little bit. Then I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. I'm using my Daffodil Delight ink pad, and now I'm using this big Starburst. At least this is what it reminds me of, from the Kinda Eclectic set. Absolutely love this set. Now I'm going to put this one in the upper corner. So, just like that. And while I have this Daffodil Delight ink pad open, I'm going to take this circle, and to me this is a border punch, that's what I use it for mainly, or a background punch. I'm going to ink this up in Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to go across the page, and I am not going to, and I'm doing this along the bottom, I'm going to try to get it the same distance, and I didn't ink that up very well, but that's okay. I'm going to try to get it the same distance from the bottom, and if it overlaps a little, that's fine. I'm okay with that. There we go. Now I'm done with the yellow ink. So that's Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie. That's my color scheme. I'm just using the two colors plus my one white neutral. I'm going to now take my sun face, pop that up on a couple of dimensionals. This is really the only part of the page that I actually gave any dimension to. I'm just going to center this over here, and I love the way that looks. I really just love that little touch. Now I've got some of this fabulous new cotton ribbon that Stampin' Up! Came out with, and this is actually the pumpkin pie cotton ribbon. And I'm going to put a glue dot on each end. I've cut this about probably 9 inches. And then I'm going to use this along the top of those, that yellow polka dot borders, those Daffodil Delight polka dot borders. And notice that I'm just wrapping the edge with the glue dot around the back, just like that. Now I've cut out 2 mats. I cut out a mat in Daffodil Delight at 4 by 5 3/4. Then I cut out a pumpkin pie mat in 4.5 by 6 inches. I glued them together, and now I'm just going to attach them to my page. So whatever your favorite adhesive is, that's what you use to attach it to your page. I'm going to put this opposite the sun up here like this. And that's where my photo is going to go, and probably a little bit of journaling around my photo. And when I just write with my journaling markers. I love the new Project Life black journaling markers. These right here, they have a nice fine tip, and I like journaling in black. I also like journaling in my own handwriting because I feel like that makes a big difference. Now, I've taken a sentiment from another sentiment. This one says, "You are my sunshine," and another sentiment from the Ray of Sunshine stamp set says, "Wherever you go, no matter the weather, always bring your own sunshine." And I've cut that out. I stamped that in pumpkin pie on Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I used my Chalk Talk framelits, these two right here, and I cut that out with the Chalk Talk framelits, and I cut a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock in the slightly larger one, and they don't match exactly. That's okay. I just wanted a matte, and it almost looks like a framed picture on a wall. And for this one, I'm actually going to turn this one sideways. I'm going to add 2 final touches. I have a bow I've created out of the pumpkin pie. I'm going to actually put that down at the bottom. Now I'm going to take some rhinestones, because certainly a page that talks about sunshine should have some sparkle. And I believe I used the largest ones, and I'm just going to put those on my sentiment just like that, and I have lots of room on this page. So that completes my layout. Now I've got a 2-page layout that will go into my scrapbook. 1 page for each of my children, and I will take a 12 by 12 piece of pumpkin pie, a 10 by 10 piece of this Daffodil Delight Designer Series paper stack, and I will mount them just like that and put them in a 12 by 12 page, leaving me lots of room for putting My Rays of Sunshine title across the top. So there you go. Thanks for watching this video in my Stampin' and Scrappin' Sunday series. Check out my blog at stampingandperfection.com. You can purchase all these supplies online at mystampingstore.com. And please make sure you give this video a like below. Thanks for watching.